let's just crack on with it. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we've got about 20 seconds before we actually get to do anything. This is kind of like a two character puzzle sort of game. It's meant to be a puzzle game. More of a platformer the way we do it. Basically, it plays two characters. One's a girl, one's a robot, surprisingly enough. The girl, as you can see, she's pretty fast, well, fast-ish. And she can jump, and she's small, so she can fit through spaces. So that's kind of what she does. And the robot, who we'll see in a bit, he's kind of the bigger character. So he will attack the enemies, he can move heavy objects, and he's got this bow that you can use to shoot targets. So this bit's pretty boring. I hope you like that jumping noise, because you're going to hear it for about 20 minutes. So there's our robot friend. Right, yeah, so coming up to first enemy here, we just skip him for now. Probably the main thing to note, this game is completely tied to its checkpoint system. We can't skip any checkpoints, otherwise we can't beat the game. So a lot of the routing in this is that was a failed skip. You can kind of boost through that and it goes a little bit quicker. But yeah, as I was saying, so if we skip any checkpoints, we can't progress. 2, 3, 4. So I'll stop getting distracted. Can't progress any further, so we have to hit every single one. Some of them are position based, some are event based. I'll explain what that means a bit later. So yeah, sorry, this part's a little bit boring. I don't know if we have any donations this very second.
We do have one donation. We have a $5 donation from Scott saying support the speedrunning community. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so coming up next is why am I doing that? It's too early. Coming up is a lovely unskippable cutscene. This takes about 10 seconds. But then we do our first death warp. So you can see here what you're meant to do is get the girl up here, and then like go over to that lever, send the lift back down, bring the robot up. Instead of doing that, we just go here, and then that brings the robot right back up because we hit the checkpoint just beforehand. And now we're coming up to kind of the first major skip in just a second. This whole first level is pretty much just like a tutorial sort of thing. Kind of the first part of like the second level is as well. So it's just kind of showing you the sort of things that you're meant to be doing throughout the game. On the old patch, what we used to do is there was a glitch where we could freeze all the enemies. So what we'd do on this bit is we'd run around here as a girl and just completely skip over this whole section. We wouldn't need the robot at all. But on this patch, we can't. They fixed it. So we have to do this the regular way. But we are going to skip something in a second.
Do we have a little bit time for a donation?
Give me like 20 seconds.
Sure thing.
There's just a skip coming up. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, what you're meant to do here is have the girl on that platform, send the robot in here, but what we do is hit that checkpoint and jump around that corner. There's a little bit of like an invisible wall jutting out, and from what I can gather, the devs didn't test this game on a mouse and keyboard. So you'll kind of notice I can do these really kind of quick jumps, quick turns, and we use that to break quite a bit of the game. You got a few seconds now to read what you're reading.
Yes, I want to say we got a $100 donation from Kiosk.
Nice.
And he's saying, thanks to all the runners, organizers and volunteers for putting on such an awesome marathon. Put this money towards Super Mario Odyssey's couch singing Jump Up Superstar. And with that donation, we actually broke $4,000. I think that deserves an applause.
Okay, so this bit coming up, this is like a kind of floor puzzle. So what happens here is there's a code on the wall. It can be one of 3 things, and then you have to match it in the next room. I just need to listen here for a sec. Alright, we got the second quickest one. It can only be 3, and it's the same ones every time. Fortunately, the patterns themselves aren't random, but which one it's going to be is. Jesus Christ! There's no way to manipulate that. Another small skip coming up here as well. You're meant to have both of the characters on these 2 little platforms, which makes sense, but you can just run over both of them and skip that entirely. What are we on? 5:28. About 20 seconds behind PB at the minute. So we're in the kind of little town area. We come back here quite a bit. In theory, if we weren't tied to the checkpoints, we can actually get to the last level from this area. This is kind of not really a hub world, but it's kind of like the central location of the game. You'll notice there when I shot that arrow, I kind of boosted out of it. That's basically just a way of cancelling an animation, so any animation you can do, you can basically cancel out of it with that little dash. So we generally use that when we're fighting or shooting arrows, just because it saves quite a bit of time. Here's the first event-based checkpoint. Basically, you'd think it's position-based because of the way it works. But you can't activate that just as the girl. You have to be the robot. So in theory, we could skip like this whole section. But we can't. So we have to do that whole thing to get the robot through. Because he's pretty clunky. Yeah, I'm liking the chat right now. Alright, so that skipped fighting those 2 little guys in there. Like I say, using the mouse just completely ruins everything that the devs put into this game. Around here. You see that? Dashed out of that so we can get moving just a bit quicker. Okay, we got the quiet one. Sometimes this plays noise, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. It's don't know why. What's that? Raelius. Yeah, so I explained it briefly before, but basically the girl's a bit more nimble. She's a bit quicker, and she can jump and she can fit through small spaces. So that's why. Generally, this whole run is trying to avoid using the robot as much as possible. Unfortunately for this bit coming up, this is really forcing in the switching mechanic. You'll see these little platforms on the floor, and it lights up to the next one. So you have to have like each character on a platform at one time, kind of like stepstone sort of thing. This is really wanting you to do the switching mechanic, and considering each switch takes about 2 or 3 seconds. Sorry, one. Okay. Yeah, each switch takes like 2 or 3 seconds. It adds up quite a bit in this section. Did I get lucky here? Kinda lucky. So this enemy that I'm about to have to fight can be in 3 locations. He can either be in here, on the other side of that gate, or he can be on this side. Oop, that was rubbish. Not quite sure which is quickest, but what I'm gonna do is, there we go. Remember to shoot this one. There we go. So you see that I use the dash cancelling just to attack really quickly and not really give them a chance to attack me back. That what I just did then with the dash, it doesn't feel like you're meant to do it, but I have no other way of doing it. So I guess that's the way you're meant to do it. I don't know how much they encourage the dash cancelling. But we're coming up to the end of the first part of this. Again, this next checkpoint is an event-based one. It will only trigger when this door's open. So even if we could get over here somehow, we still have to get this door open. But now, if anyone has played this game, all 3 of you, will know that you're meant to go through this basement as the robot again, which is super slow because the robot sucks. So what we're going to do instead is go around here, jump around. That kind of hallway thing, that's actually the loading zone for the final level. But we can't quite reach it, and even if we could, we couldn't use it. So go into here, jump up through the floor, and then hit the checkpoint for the end of the maze. So that saved about a minute or something. Sorry, Falco, time difference between patches. The old patch is actually a minute slower now. Basically, throughout like doing up until the last split, oh, thanks, I didn't fall off there. Old patch is about 30 seconds quicker, but in the last split, there's a really huge skip that saves about a minute and a half. So now current patch is the quicker one, which I wouldn't have even tried if it didn't get accepted into this marathon, because I don't really like this category. But the guys organized it, picked this over old patch, so I kind of reworked it a bit and found some cool stuff. Here's a huge skip. That skips walking all the way out the basement, skips fighting some enemies, having to avoid some enemies, and it skips a fairly long cutscene. Now this bit is super boring. I've been saying a lot about this. This run kind of picks up after this split, really. So what I have to do here is, you see these kind of like talismans on the wall. I have to shoot those with the robot. That's going to turn the cannon, and then go. Oh, you flip. There we go. And then there's all these cutscenes. It's really long, and if we die at any point, we have to go right back to the start. So it's a super costly split to die on. So hopefully I don't. Okay, so that's that bit done. Cutscene here. You can skip it, but it's like not quicker at all. We go here. These crates here were added in a new patch. That's nice. And here you can see these two platforms. Again, we're meant to have the girl and the robot. But instead, just jump around. Nice and easy. This next little skip, this is the boss skip. This was found by Alicia, the only other runner of this game, who's not done a run on current patch. Basically, you can, as long as you're sprinting, you can jump up like any sloped surface. So we do that to jump up here. Now they did try and patch this. This was easier in old patch. So they moved the trigger for the checkpoint inside the boss room, but didn't increase the trigger size for the boss. So we just jump into the loading zone for the next level, and the game never checks if you've actually beaten the boss or not. So you can see there, top right, it's now saving. So we've hit that checkpoint. So just completely skip that boss. If you ever play this game casually, you'll know why we really want to skip that boss. That was one of the first things I found in this game, really. But here we go, now we're in the maze. This, we completely skipped the robot in this. You're meant to swap between. Not going to be here as the girl at all. Hopefully I don't fall off. Nice. Alright. So you can see we're just kind of jumping off all the geometry here. They built a lot of fairly low walls in this game. I'm going to have to go safe here, otherwise that guy would have got me. Those purple glowy guys are super quick. Oh, flip. 1 sec. Tell you didn't see anything. Alright, there we go, we're good. You didn't see anything. So we're going to hit more checkpoints. And again, so that skipped the first 3 parts of this maze. You're meant to go through like a whole thing, and this is where you're meant to switch. I'm going to show off a quick Easter egg because it takes no time. There we go, there's the Easter egg, if anyone was looking for that. That's a Steam achievement. Alright, back to the run. So now we come to another skip. I'm going to jump on here, jump on there, jump up there, and this skips the AI trigger for all these guys. So now they don't chase us, so we don't have to kind of fanny around running away from them. Quick cutscene skip coming up here. Jump up there, again, just skipping the whole maze because we can just jump on all the walls. It's pretty easy. Checkpoint warp. down here. That saves us having to get the lift. That's behind us. This bit is tricky. I might goof this. You can... There we go. You can see I'm kind of hanging off the edge. And if you hang off the edge, the AI don't bother to come looking for you. Hold on, quick checkpoint warp here. Now we're at the top. This is good for mouse and keyboard. Woo! There we go. So you can see here, I'm kind of hanging off the edge. And it's kind of tricky to hold right, because I have pretty high sensitivity. But these guys are going to chase you, and they just don't. So that's all yeah, we use that one more time in a run. But that saves having to switch to the robot to walk through. Because probably one thing I should mention, if the enemies get you, like if they get the girl, it's just game over right there and then. So that's why we have to try and avoid them at all costs, really, and switch to the robot if we have to. Hopefully I don't mess this part up. But as you see these panels on the floor, you just have to hit a certain amount as each character. Let's see if I can do this. Alright, good. If I messed that, there would have been a super, super loud noise, so it's probably a good job I didn't mess that up. Dark Caligma, old patch is actually slower. By about a minute. Okay, nice little skip coming up here. So we have to hit this bell to open the next door. Needed that. Right, yeah, this door here, we can't get in there any other way. But you can see all these enemies. Now, they would normally catch us. Just gonna play a little safe here. There we go. So they would normally catch us, but instead of doing that, we just jump around their trigger zone. And now they just all kind of hang out. So that lets us swap into the robot, walking through, getting blown up by all these guys. And now at the last level. Here's a really interesting level. So that skips about half an hour's worth of puzzles. Here again, you can see that I was on that little lip. That's necessary. You don't quite get enough height otherwise. But here's the cool thing. So I'm going to menu warp. Just gets a bit quicker because you'll see now. I'm going to put the girl here. And you can see now the robot's over here. And got it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right, so this is cool. So this is why new patch is faster than old patch. Basically, in the new patch, they added this new water texture, and it looks really nice, looks way better, but it's higher than the old water texture, and they never bothered to raise the kill zone. So we just walk right across it, and that skips a terribly RNG section. We had to fight a lot of enemies in really tight rooms, and it was rubbish. I hated it. But yeah, we can skip all that. I might completely mess this up. We'll see. I'm going to go for cool strats once, and if I mess it up, we have to watch the last 30 seconds again. So what you're meant to do, you can see that kind of floating platform there. I'm meant to put the girl on that. Instead, I'm going to hang her off the edge here. So the same as before, now the robots won't bother coming to catch her. Okay, first phase done. First two phases are really easy. The last phase is on its rubbish. Okay, I got 2. Rubbish. No! No, this is what you don't want to happen. Get out, get out, get out. There is no cooldown in these guys. 1, 2, 1, 2. Time! Nice! What was that? 1906. That's not bad. That's not bad. I was hoping for sub 20. What else was I saying? Yeah, those guys can really troll you. There's like no cooldown at all on our explosions. So when there's 4 of them just kind of grouping on you, it just ruins it completely. You have to do the whole thing again. Yeah, no, not world record. World record's like 1825. Something to that effect. Yeah, that's about it. I'll be back in about an hour or so, maybe a couple of hours running Zenith. If anyone wants to run this game, probably get me on Twitter or Twitch or something like that. We don't have a Discord yet because it's just me. I can talk to myself at home. Yeah, no, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, so that was the goal on the robot. That was pretty cool run. Just out of bounds all the time. Coming up next is Cube by Eflon, who's going to do a good job and not mess up, right? He's nodding at me. I just woke him up like half an hour ago, so this will be fun. Hey, you're watching ESA Winter. Hello. It's early morning here. I just got up as well. We actually met the donation goal for Cube as well. So we're actually going to be showing an Easter egg halfway through the run. Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, halfway through the run, we're going to watch a see an Easter egg. We do have some other upcoming goals and bid wars. So for Braid, which is right after Cube, we have Teleport Tim glitch, which is currently $25 out of 300. So I mean, if you want to try that, we can. You might be able to just during Cube. Eflon's running away. That's not good. Yeah, so Braid is right after Cube, which is a cool run. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a time twisty platformer. It's pretty good. We also have the Fate of the Snowman donation bid war for Billy Scholarship Edition. Bully. It's early, all right? Bully. Billy. Currently kill the snowmans at $40 and save the snowmans at $10. So I mean, if you like snowmen, you know. Just gonna get ready for the next one. Do you need? I can try to figure that out if you want. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go to adverts and then Cube.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're ready with the next run. It's Cube by Eflon.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'll be playing Cube by Eflon. So I start the timer with the red button, right? Alright, cool. So I guess I'll just hop right into it. We start the timer in a weird way because the first cutscene is the only skippable cutscene, so we just go do this. 3, 2, 1, bah! Woohoo! Alright, so Cube is a